What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. My name is Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. Today is May 20th, 2024, and it's about 6:34 p.m. where I'm at right now. It's raining outside, so you might hear some thunder. It's also kind of hot out here, too, because summer is approaching. Yep, there goes the thunder right there. I don't know if y'all heard that, but yeah, it might be a bit loud in the background. I got the fan on. It's raining, thundering, lightning outside, so there might be some disturbances. Who knows? The electricity might go out and Wi-Fi might cut off. But I want to say, first and foremost, thank you to everybody who subscribed. I reached 4,000 subscribers. I expected to hit that in the next 3 months, and it happened sort of all in the last 2 weeks. So I want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed, a lot of new subscribers. Once again, I want to preface my introduction to anybody who's now following me that this is not a strictly Islamic channel. In fact, the majority of my content will not be about Islam. This channel is about exploring white supremacy and anti-blackness through a critical lens, and also just talking about my life, sharing my life. It's just my personal platform. Like, this is like a Facebook page to me. This is like an Instagram page to me. I don't use Facebook. I don't use Instagram, MySpace, TikTok, barely use Twitter, right? So my YouTube channel is like my social media for the world, and it just so happens to gain an audience because a lot of the times I'm speaking for a particular audience, but then again, I never know who will actually be attracted to what I say. But the primary audience, my targeted audience for my content are like mostly Black Americans or people who are interested in studying white supremacy and understanding anti-blackness and fighting against those things, right? And because of my multiple layers as an identity, as a human being, right, like all of us have, I am a Muslim, so I will talk about Islam, or I'll show my Islamic experiences. I do like to travel, so I will talk about my travels or show my travels. I have interest in the various things that happen in the world, so I'll talk about that, share my opinions about that, and stuff like that, right? I'm very interested in learning. If you guys know, I'm a student, or at least I'm going back to school to eventually become a PhD professor in sociology, because I'm not tired of teaching English, but I'm kind of worried about where the industry is going with AI and all that sort of stuff. So like in any business, right, you got to up your game, right? So I'm upping my game, and I'm interested in learning. That's why I do the book reacts. That's why I do the movie reviews. I believe it's important to have a critical eye on culture as well as, academia. So yeah, that's basically it. I just want to let everybody know who's new to my channel. If you're a new subscriber here, I please unsubscribe if you're expecting me to always talk about Islam or always go to the masjids, always go to Juma prayers. This channel is not for you. I'm a cussing motherfucker. Unfortunately, I commit haram things. I am not following, the Sirat al-Mustaqim exactly the way it should be. I'm not following the Sharia the way it should be exactly. But I do believe in Allah. I do believe in His Prophet. And hopefully one day, if I live long enough, I can repent for my multiple sins, right? But yeah, that's basically what I want to say to all the new subscribers, the thousands of new subscribers, which is a bit weird, right? Imagine you're sitting at home, like, in your underwear, watching a movie, watching X-Men 97, and like 13,000 people are looking at you from all across the world. It's a bit weird. It's a bit disorienting, being watched, if that makes sense. Once again, this is a personal channel. Like, this is not supposed to be for everybody. My channel, my content, the things I say are not for everybody. They should be heard by everybody, because honestly, we're talking about a very serious issue with anti-blackness and white supremacists. But yeah, anyway, you get the idea. I want to apologize. Arjan Pechi says, I love you. I love you too, whoever you are. I want to apologize to Cassie, right? I want to apologize to Cassie. And any woman out there who was hurt by what I said in the Diddy video I did. So I did a live stream talking about Diddy a few months ago, or whenever it dropped, the lawsuit between Cassie and Diddy, right? And she was alleging so many things, that he physically abused her, sexually assaulted her, that he did a lot of heinous things, right? And the thing is, I did not watch my live stream, but I'm pretty sure if I did watch it, I said some things that looking at the circumstances that have since transpired, that would show that I should have been more believing of Cassie, right? And I want to apologize to Cassie, or for any woman out there who might think I'm sexist or misogynist or chauvinistic or whatever, right? Like, because that's not me. That's not me at all, right? Like, if for anybody who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about and you just want to stay tuned, basically, this very famous, record producer slash rapper, singer, his name is Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, whatever you want to call him, right? He was in a very long-term relationship with this woman named Cassie for many years. They were never officially married, but they had an on and off again relationship, and then they suddenly broke up and she got married to somebody else, et cetera, et cetera. Then, recently, this year, a bombshell lawsuit drops where Cassie alleges that Diddy was abusing her for many years, right? Physically assaulting her, having her, sleep with male prostitutes and all sorts of stuff. And it was a bombshell, right? And yeah, a lot of YouTubers and live streamers reacted to this, and I decided to go the academic approach and read the entire lawsuit from beginning to end, right? And yeah, there were some things in there that were very believable. Like, we've heard for years that Diddy can be an aggressive male, that he is a man who with a tantrum, that he is a control freak, which is not hard to believe for any man, regardless of race, with an extreme amount of financial wealth, right? Of course, that's very believable, but there were parts of it that I just didn't believe as a hip hop fan. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you've been following Diddy, like I grew up looking at Diddy, like with the shiny suits and getting jiggy, take that, all that stuff on TV, right? Diddy always came across, at least to me, and I believe the general hip hop populace, as like kind of a dirty businessman, kind of a asshole narcissist, kind of a clout chaser to some degree, but a genius with music, a genius at marketing, a genius at presenting himself, and generally non-gangsta and non-threatening, okay? All right, I'm keeping it absolutely real, because I feel like now, as things have transpired, people are going to try to rewrite history, like how people tried to rewrite history saying that, Kanye always was open about his ghostwriters. No, he wasn't. Kanye was not open about his ghostwriters until very recently. And the same thing about Diddy. Like, I don't feel like it was general hip hop knowledge that Diddy's father was like a notorious gangster, like for real, from Harlem. That, Diddy, like the events at the college where those kids died at the party and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people weren't really digging into the situation with him and Kim Porter and stuff like that. Like, from the outside looking in, from people who had a tacit understanding, knowledge, view of who Diddy was, it wasn't this perception of him as this big maniacal gangster. You get what I'm saying? The idea that Diddy would, try to blow up Kid Cudi's car was like unfathomable. The idea that Diddy was, grabbing a gun when he heard that Suge Knight was in town and he said he was gonna kill Suge Knight and stuff like that. Like, this type of stuff that I was reading in the Cassie lawsuit was unbelievable for me as a person who's seen this person from afar. We know Diddy got bad, characteristics about him, that he is a slimy, dirty record executive, because almost every artist who has ever signed to Bad Boy has had issues with him about their contracts, right? Like, what was it? Styles P was trying to throw a refrigerator at Diddy or throw chairs. Like, Jadakiss tore up the Bad Boy offices trying to like strangle Diddy and stuff like that. So like, we've heard stories of Diddy effing over his artists, but we didn't hear stories really about Diddy, like, how can I say this? Being a very abusive, evil man with his hands. You get what I'm saying? Like, of course, there was the incident, with Jennifer Lopez and Shine when they were busting in the club, supposedly, and Diddy supposedly gave the gun to J-Lo to hide in the purse and all that sort of stuff. But the way he beat that charge, I believe a part of it was his image, as well as just this, businessman type of character, rather than this notorious gangster in the industry. Like, that was the duality between, Tupac and Suge and Biggie and Puff, right? Like, Tupac and Suge were the big bad gangsters, America's worst nightmare. And, Puffy and Big were supposed to be like, the made in America entrepreneurs, sort of American dream incarnate and that sort of stuff, rising out from the ghetto, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and that sort of stuff. So yeah, Diddy beat the case with the gun charge, and Shine took the rap, and sort of people just ran with it. So nobody ever thought that Diddy was really busting his gun in the club and stuff like that. And I don't feel like people generally knew about him smacking up Kim Porter, or that he was capable of the type of violence that we saw in the video that leaked this week, where he was, basically sucker punching Cassie, dragging her down the hall, throwing like vases and lamps at her and stuff like that. It was just very hard to believe. That's just what I'm saying, right? That's what I meant to say in the initial live stream. But after watching the video, of course, like everybody saw on social media, and it's been around for a few days, I think now we can more readily believe Cassie. And I'm not saying like, oh, now we can because we have video evidence, right? Like, we don't have video evidence of every single black man that was unjustly killed by the police. But in light of George Floyd, in light of Roger Forster, in light of so many other black men who have been killed on camera and off camera, it's pretty reasonable to assume that a lot of black men have been unjustly killed by the police. So the same thing needs to apply for this thing with a lot of women who talk about domestic abuse from men and that sort of stuff, and they often go unheard. A lot of women are not believed whenever they start talking about their experiences getting abused, right? So I really want to apologize for Cassie for how I, reacted to the script. Please have some understanding for me, for any of like my female listeners or watchers who are tuning in now or will watch in the future my content and that sort of stuff. I just want to apologize. And there are some rumors going around that Cassie was trying to leave the hotel with like a Louis Vuitton bag with like $100,000 in it or something like that. That's still no excuse. Like, generally for men, it's not okay to hit women, okay? Unless she's got a gun at you, unless your life is in danger, you cannot smack a broad. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take the Chris Rock advice. Like, shake them. What did Kanye say? I'll never hit a woman, but I'll shake the ish out of you. Something like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not okay to hit women. And generally, it's not okay to shake them either. Keep your hands to yourself. This is advice for men and women. Keep your hands to yourself in relationships. And generally for men, we know the consequences will be harsher for us. So it's not worth it to put your life, your future, your career at risk over an emotional response to a woman, right? And this is something that I even had to learn as a young man, right? I've made my mistakes as a young man dealing with women. I've made my mistakes, in so many ways as a person, and nobody's perfect. And I'm so glad that I'm able to live and tell the tale and be free and to tell the tale when so many brothers behind bars are behind bars because of some soft legs, which is a shame, which is a tragedy, right? So I'm apologizing once again. I'm sorry. I admit when I was wrong. Players mess up, okay? It's more easy to believe now that Diddy actually tried to shoot Suge Knight, that he really tried to blow up Kid Cudi's car, that he was really this coked up, drug-consuming narcissist who was making Cassie do wild freak-offs. It's very believable to me now. And once again, it shouldn't have taken me a video to believe it, but I do believe I remember saying in the live stream, okay, I remember saying in the live stream that if Diddy actually did any of the things he is accused of, he should be punished, absolutely, right? And it is believable that she would put all of this in there, because you can lie in a lawsuit, but it's harder to get away with that lie, because that person, especially Diddy, with enough resources, could sue you for defamation and countersue. You get what I'm saying? But the way Diddy settled the suit, it showed that obviously he was like embarrassed about it, that he obviously wanted to try to admit something was wrong, even though his lawyers came out and said us settling this lawsuit doesn't mean that we were, wrong in any way. But that's how it looks, and that's how it appears, because nobody could just send a lawsuit against Simon Hill. Simon Hill keeps it trail saying Simon did this to me, Simon did that to me, and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Shada jumped into the comment. I believe Shada is the Irishman. I remember Shada. So hi, Shada. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the great people in Ireland. But also shout out to your mama, Shada, because your mama is a bitch. And I hope your mama dies, Shada. I hope your mama chokes on 20 Pakistani dicks that will come into Ireland on illegal boats. And I hope your mother dies, Shada. I hope your father dies. I hope everything bad that could ever happen to one person happens to you, Shada. And I hope you come to Budapest, Hungary one day so I can smack the shit out of you, you bitch-ass motherfucker. So, Shada said in the comments, you would love to do a freak off for Diddy. Bro, once again, nothing triggers me more. Like, the white supremacists and their racial comments and stuff like that triggers me, but nothing triggers me more than somebody calling me bro. because I am not your brother. Because number one, I would never wish for my brother's mother to die, which I hope does happen to you, Shada. I hope your mother has a tragic, horrible death where she is raped and pillaged and burned alive. I hope the worst things happen to her for raising such a bitch ass son. But yeah, nothing triggers me more than bro. Because number one, a lot of the white supremacists say the word bro, and they do not know that it has Black American origins. They do not know that this word is derived from Black American vernacular. So they are using a word to be racist towards a black person because, once again, the white supremacists haven't done anything significant culturally or linguistically. All they've done is, exported their dirty languages, which are, recreations of Roman Latin, right? And they've basically just tried to make everybody speak it, right? But we've taken their words, twisted them, and made them new, cool, and fresh, right? And hundreds of years later, now they become sick racist bastards online who continue to just say horrible things to black people. It's so triggering, though. It bothers me so much. Anybody who says bro to me again will get blocked. You will call me by my name, Simon, or you will call me Mr. Hill, or that's it. That's it. You will call me Simon or Mr. Hill, or just Hill. You can call me Hill too, like we're in the military or something. But do not call me bro under any circumstances. Shada, I am not your brother. You are a bitch. Your mama is a bitch. Your daddy was a bitch-ass motherfucker. And everybody in Ireland who thinks like you, Shada, is a bitch too. And I hope everything bad happens to you, Shada. I hope. All right? Once again, Shada, you can continue to call me bro. It is, that's the one weakness I have. It's like my kryptonite. I hate that word. I hate that word so much because I am none of y'all's brother. For real, for real. Anyway, Shada's comments aren't worth mentioning, right? My channel is blowing up, 4,000 subs. Last time Shada checked in, I was like around 1,800. So it doesn't matter how many people are on the live, Shada. It matters how many people watch it in the playback, how many people share it, how many people like it, how much money I make on the, on the monthly revenue, something like that. Like something you can't do, Shada. Shada, nobody would tune in to hear what you have to say. But people tune in to hear what I have to say occasionally, right? I'm very, very like Z-list famous on YouTube, right? And it's not something that I wanted. It's not something that I hoped for. I aspire to be an academic, unlike you, Shada, who aspires to be retarded, who aspires to be like your bitch-ass mama, a bitch. Shada, once again, I don't care how many viewers I have because the people will watch on the playback. And regardless, like I said at the beginning of this live stream, it is only meant for me. My channel is basically my personal platform. And I do not try to purposely get more viewers, more subscribers. I actively tell people to disengage or unsubscribe to my channel. All right. So Shada is really stupid, but Shada, you can go back to Ireland. And I cannot wait for your mother to die. I really wish that bitch falls off a cliff and she goes to hell and sucks on 20 English dicks. I wish the absolute worst for that red-haired slut that popped you out of her dirty, nasty cunt, you bitch-ass motherfucker. Anyway, continuing here. Where was I? Okay. Yeah, anyway, to Cassie, right? Diddy released his apology video, which, was kind of tone deaf and stuff like that. And I posted something on Twitter saying, like, every time I think about this Diddy situation, all I do is think about Dana White and how Dana White, was caught on HD, 4K, slapping his wife in the club. And he got to keep his league, didn't lose any sponsorships. Basically life went on. His wife apologized for getting slapped. He apologized for slapping her. The people in the media sort of closed ranks around him and everything like that. So, yeah, all I do is think about Dana White when I think about Diddy and the double standards, right? And I was talking to my wife and her friend about this. And, whatever happens to Diddy, if he is like, criminally prosecuted for beating this girl and stuff like that, that is just, that is fair. But it's unjust how Dana White can walk away with this. And this goes to show like white supremacy in America, like on full display, right? Like so many white men have got away with doing bad things, consistently doing bad things. And Diddy, on the other hand, will probably have to suffer reputational damage, monetary damage, and possibly even lose his freedom. Let's see how things unfold because of this situation, right? It's not okay for men to hit any women, of course, but it seems like a consistent thing that white men can do bad things against women, and oftentimes they get away with it. Like Harvey Weinstein, for example, right? Harvey Weinstein spent like 2 weeks in a jail, and then he's eventually let free on a technicality, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if in the future a lot more white men, who were convicted or had their reputations disposed of because of the Me Too movement, get rehabilitated and reintegrated into society or into their careers and that sort of stuff. I do think that is likely to happen in the next few years, right? I'll even think about Jeffrey Epstein, right? Jeffrey Epstein, murks himself, and basically, King Andrew doesn't get persecuted, right? I think he got taken off of his throne or whatever title or status he had. But yeah, King Andrew gets to keep it. All Bill Gates, Trump, everybody who was hanging around Epstein basically gets to go on about their lives. Yeah, there is a little stank next to their name because they were connected to Epstein, but then what? You get what I'm saying? Then what? Nothing really. So, I really want to start writing again because I was listening to some of the writings that I recorded before. And the thing is, I want to pen something like Dana White, Diddy, and Double Standards or something like that. That would be interesting for me to write, and I hope people would be receptive to it if I did start writing again. Because I looked at the comments, and those were the type of comments that I want to see. Those were the type of viewers that I want on my channel. Not weak ass motherfuckers like Shada in my comment section. Like, I want real, intellectuals and specifically black people on the channel, not wild white supremacists from bumfuck Ireland somewhere. You get what I'm saying? But I also titled this live stream explanation for my community tab post, because on my community tab section, I posted something like, okay, there's people in my comments or people online in general who say stuff like, there's no such thing as white supremacy or racism globally in this world. And then I posted the image of Roger Forster, Stone Mountain in Georgia, the crisis in Tunisia, where the Tunisian government is dumping black people in the middle of the deserts or near dangerous ass Libya. And then I posted a picture of the ethnic cleansing happening in Sudan right now, where Arab militias are slaughtering the Masalite people who are mostly black. And I also posted the Daniel Penny situation where Greg Abbott basically pardoned a white supremacist, like an avowed white supremacist. This guy was posting on, websites that he wanted to slaughter black people and cut off their penises and stuff like that. This guy got let go of jail. He got free, and he got his gun rights back. And that was from a Republican governor in Texas named Greg Abbott, who's in a wheelchair, who's a bitch, by the way, too. And it really bothers me and to no end, and it really troubles me and worries me how ignorant a lot of people on the internet can be. And that's why right now, segueing into the next part, I'm starting the book reacts section or episodes or series on my channel, where basically I'm going to be reading a lot of interesting books that I find interesting, but also informative about various topics, but mostly related to white supremacy and anti-black racism and anti-racism, to educate people at the very least, because there's a lot of people who watch my channel and they're probably silent, right? And I probably give too much attention or focus to the commenters, because there's a lot of YouTube videos I watch that I never comment on, and I might have the biggest fan of me in the world who's never told me a single thing, right? And if that person, takes my word seriously or takes the type of work that I do on my channel seriously, then they're going to tune into the Book React series and leave with something new, something that can help their mind grow, something that can spark some curiosity in them, something. That's what I'm hoping for, right? The first episode was done today. We're reading Jesse Daniels' Cyber Racism, and the one problem I have with it is that my microphone is not working, right? I know I need to invest in a newer microphone, a better mic, so y'all can hear me better and clearer and stuff like that, like on the phone live streams like this. But I've said before I'm poor, man. I said before I'm poor, and YouTube is a side hustle. So sort of whatever happens with it happens. The way my channel is blown up is really not with a lot of effort. It's just me goofing around on the channel or just being me on the channel. So I noticed when I played back the first episode, the mic is really bad, but I hope you still, gain something from it, because you can listen if you listen in headphones or or if you like turn up the volume a lot. The mic is kind of shaky, but I'll try to fix it for the next episode we'll do tomorrow for book reacts. But yeah, once again, I encourage everybody to look into the stories of Roger Forster, a blatant example of white supremacy in America today. Black man opens the door, police sees him holding a gun that he legally owns in his own house after the police just knocked and hid away from the peephole in his door. Roger didn't know who was at his door or anything like that. And the police murks him as soon as he opens it. In Florida, right? In Florida, a state that encourages people to buy guns, a state that makes it even more possible for people to buy guns every single year, right? And when this black man has a gun, now he gets murdered and murked. And it's very likely, unfortunately, despite this person who was killed being a U.S. A service member, being a part of the Air Force, it's very likely that the police officer who murdered this black man unjustly will be able to get away with it. Because unfortunately, in the United States, the police have the protection under the law to say that they are under reasonable suspicion that their life is in danger, right? Now, this was supposed to end with the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act that the Democrats, and here's where people say Simon Hill, the Democratic shield, comes in. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act would have ended qualified immunity. That would have ended the law or the wall that the police hide behind that says I can't be blamed for murdering people in the street because I'm in reasonable fear of my life. No, there has to be the same level of proof that anybody who is making a self-defense claim in court could make, right? The police would have to make the same thing. But a lot of the Republicans, by and large, said no, the law didn't pass. So after all the riots and protests for George Floyd's murder, all the talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, all that sort of stuff, nothing transpired because the conservatives in America said we want to protect the police having the ability to assume that somebody was going to kill them and then murder anybody in the streets. This is what makes America a sick nation and also a very white supremacist nation, because we all saw George Floyd get murdered in front of everybody. We all saw George Floyd get murdered in front of anybody, and our politicians did nothing. I at least have to salute the Democrats for trying, even if they gave a half-assed attempt. Giving a half-assed attempt to trying to get something passed in a system that's broken, where in the Senate you have to get 60, you have to have a supermajority, meaning 60 out of 100 senators have to approve something instead of a simple majority, which the Democrats had. Even if they tried, knowing that it was impossible, it's better than saying we oppose this, which is still the Republican and conservative platform today, that they oppose ending qualified immunity for police, that they oppose the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. That is a shame. That is a shame. And anybody who supports them, anybody who supports that sort of system is supporting white supremacy. If you say, maybe the Republicans are right, maybe the conservatives are right, what you are saying is that the police should still have the right to murder any civilian if they are in reasonable fear of their life, from their own supposition, not through any proof, just them saying they were. Right? If I murder somebody in America and I say it's self-defense, I have to have some proof. I have to show that that person was having a gun, that they were lunging towards me with a knife or some sort of weapon. And in some states, the barrier is even lower than that, but I have to prove it. But all the police have to say generally is that I was in fear of my life. That is not okay. That is not okay. That's going to lead to more American deaths, and particularly more black men being killed in America. But stupid people in my comment section, like Shada, and like the multiple other white supremacists who come on my channel, say there's no such thing as racism anymore in America, or ever, if that ever existed, right? There's no anti-blackness in America. Meanwhile, Roger Forster is dead because of blatant anti-black racism. Black man holding a gun, can't happen in Florida. The other image I posted was of Stone Mountain, for if anybody who doesn't know, long time ago, actually not that long ago, 3-4 generations ago in America, there was a civil war where one side wanted to leave America, destroy America, basically give up their citizenship, give up their loyalty to the Constitution, all the things that, the right wing accuses like Democrats or communists or socialists or left wing people of wanting to do to America. There was a group of people not that long ago in America who hated America so much because America was taking away their right to own people. In their own documents, they said this: we want to be able to own the blacks. We want to be able to treat them like subhumans, and that is our God-given right. And we're going to create our own country, and we're going to even fight a war against the United States government. These people were secessionists. These people were traitors. These people were treasonous, and all of them should have been hung by gallows. But yet and still, in America today, some Americans build statues to them. They honor them as heroes, even carving their names in mountains. And I had to point that out, that that is a blatant example of white supremacy and racism in America. They literally carve it in stones. People who hated black people who viewed black people as less than human, people who hated the United States government, hated the Constitution, hated the separation of powers, hated the clause that said no state shall be dissolved, no state shall leave this union once joining. They hated that so much that they tried to form their own nation and killed other Americans. And there are still, unfortunately, a lot of white Americans today who view those men as heroes. That is treasonous. That is evil. That is treacherous. That's sick. That's sick. That is absolutely sick. And that is white supremacy in America. But according to a lot of people in my comment section, there's no such thing as racism today. I want to ask you, if you're from another country and if there were a group of people who tried to overthrow the government there and then killed other citizens there because they were fighting for some right to dehumanize another group, would you say that those people should be honored as heroes, that their faces or names should be carved into mountains and statues erected of them all across your nation? I'm pretty sure you would say no. Pretty sure you would say no. But in America, that's sort of what we live with. Sick that Stone Mountain exists. And once again, continuing. For all my Muslim followers, for all the people who love Islam and love seeing a black man in the masjid and stuff like that. I love going to the masjid too. I love, praising my Lord, Allah, who has given me life and given me so many blessings and things. But what do you have to say about how another Muslim nation, Tunisia, is treating the black people who live in that nation and also who are migrating there, which is why I posted that on my community tab. In Tunisia right now, the government is basically cracking down on illegal migrants in some of the harshest ways possible. Now, that goes into a bigger discussion about, illegal migration and the migrant crisis across the world caused by a lot of different factors, such as low economic opportunity because of neocolonialism, because of unfair wages and capitalism and the disparity in wealth and all of that sort of stuff. But what we're seeing in Africa is basically a lot of people seeking a better life in places that are actively ripping apart Africa. Let's keep it real. The modern world that we live in, if you are watching me now on your phone or your computer right there, your phone is powered by cobalt, diamonds, gold, that all come from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where large multinational companies basically rape and pillage that nation, pay people slave wages, have them working for pennies on the dollar to have children go into mines and pick out cobalt with their bare hands that then gets shipped to China and then processed in our phones. The whole world is living off of Africa's wealth. The entire world is living off Africa's wealth, and yet and still when African people are seeking to be a part of the wealth where it is transferred to in Europe, in the western part of the hemisphere, such as America or Canada or something like that, they are slaughtered. They are literally left to die, stranded and stuff like that. And Tunisia is being paid by the European Union to treat the African migrants who are simply seeking a better life because all economic opportunities are taken out of African nations. They are sending them out to the desert, literally dropping them off to die, dropping them off at the Libyan border to, who knows, be sold into slavery. There have even been stories of black African migrants in Tunisia being sold into slavery there. Is that not global white supremacy? Is that not anti-black racism? Is that not? No, it's not. Apparently it's not. Because racism is only a problem for people who are human, and black people are not considered as human in the minds of the white supremacists, of course, right? Anyway, but going here to the other conflict I spoke about, Sudan. In the Sudan, I covered this on multiple live streams, though I feel bad that I have not covered Sudan more on my channel. In the Sudan right now, there is a civil war that's happening between two warlords, basically, who want to take control of the country after Sudan had a coup. One of them is led by a guy named Hamdi, who describes himself as an Arab, and basically Hamdi's, militiamen are going around slaughtering, the black Africans who comprise a large proportion of people in Sudan. And I covered this in several live streams. A lot of the information slips my mind because I have not reviewed those lives in a while, or reviewed the news about this story. But essentially what is happening, there's a certain section in the Darfur region called the Masali people, and the Arabs are basically rolling over there and slaughtering those people, shooting them. Shooting the young boys, right? If you're a 15-year-old boy or a boy of almost any age, you will be killed by these random militiamen who are Arabs, right? Who define themselves as Arabs, even though they might be as black as me. It's not okay. It's not right, okay? So, Shada asked an interesting question. Suppose whites are to blame for the Sudan. That's a very good question. That's actually an informed and intellectual question. Are white people to blame for what happened in Sudan? I would say not all white people, number one, because not all white people are anti-black racists like you are, Shada. But the people who basically divided Sudan. We have to remember that Sudan is a colonial construct that was created by the British, right? There was no exact land called the Sudan. There was no nation state called Sudan until the people that colonized your bitch ass country, Ireland, Shada, came in there and divided up this land, right? Made it a protectorate of the British. Basically, once again, exported tons of gold out of Sudan, stole a ton of natural resources from Sudan, made it a outpost of British imperialism because of its strategic location near the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean and that sort of stuff. So yeah, to some degree, there is some fault to be had for what happened to Sudan, because had the British not colonialized Sudan, had not they raped them for their gold and all their natural resources, who knows what Sudan could be? Who knows what the entire African continent could be, Shada, had it not been for the people that colonized Ireland and raped and murdered and bombed your people to submission, to identify with whiteness, to make you attack a black man rather than fight against the English who got your mama bent over in the shower saying, God bless the Queen. Who knows what Africa would be? Who knows what Ireland could be? Who knows what any of the colonial spaces that were created by the colonialists, the white supremacists of the past yesteryear, and then are continuing to be perpetuated by the neo-colonialists today and the sympathizers to their cause, what the world would be like. I would imagine we would have a much better world, a more equitable world, a more equal world, right? But Shada, I guess you imagine that for some reason, the people in Sudan have some deficiency within them that has ruined their own country. But within your own country, in Ireland, Shada, for hundreds of years, the people were slaughtering each other, killing each other. Hell, you couldn't even get along with the white people across the water. So there goes the idea that the white race for any reason at all, has any sort of moral superiority, or that they are quote unquote less savage than the black Africans. But who knows? My answer to that question is clear. I hope that's absolutely clear. But yeah, basically there's a consistent effort in the world to hide or not speak about these issues related to black life and the perpetuation of white supremacy, and this needs to be discussed. And this is why I have my channel. As meager as it may be, as small as it may be, I'm proud of what I have done here. All right. So, Shada said something stupid. I have no idea what he's saying. Shada doesn't speak good English. It would be better for you to type in Gaelic, Shada, because you're gay. So it would be better to type in your natural faggoty language, right? It would be more natural for you to type in faggotry than actual English. But I suppose, Shada, you probably, every time you speak English, you have to realize that you're a total cuck, that your nation got so bitch made by the British that now you speak the Queen's English. So, we're in this boat together, because my people got fucked over and now you are fucked over like your mama getting fucked over right now. But yeah, anyway, where was I? That's really it. All I had to say on the live stream. I hope y'all stay tuned for the book reacts, and that you send some book recommendations. Movie reviews with Acti will be coming soon. We're just hella busy right now with the guests we have at home. But the movie reviews will be coming. I'm going to be doing some more writing, publishing that on my channel like how I used to. I'm going to try to write like 3 pages a day, publish that. Y'all check that out, support that. Shout out to all the new subscribers. 4K subscribers. Once again, it's a blessing. I'm very blessed to have this. You get what I'm saying? Because I didn't expect, the video of me going to Juma to get 60,000 views, or no, it's not at 60K, but it's like 40,000, 45,000 plus views in like a week's time. That goes to show the power of YouTube. And it goes to show that somebody actually could make some decent money doing this. But if I really think about it, if I really decided to travel around the world and go to every mosque in Juma and stuff like that, that would be highly expensive. It would be a net negative. It wouldn't be something very profitable, right? if I really decided to just like milk it for all it's worth and just turn this into an Islamic channel, there's a lot of money, which goes to show there's like a lot of money in religion in general. So I can understand now how like the mega pastors and the superstar sheikhs like make so much money and stuff like that, which is actually kind of disturbing because I feel like people want validation for their beliefs online. They want to see themselves online. They want to just have, whatever they have inside of them validated. And nothing is more validating or patting on the back than religion because it validates itself and condemns others. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I wouldn't do that under any circumstances. That's not my personality, unless I had like a sincere, like epiphany moment, like a come to Jesus type of moment. But in this case, come to Muhammad type moment, where I just turn my life around, become super Muslim, grow out my small beard, shave my mustache, all that sort of stuff. Read Quran every day. But yeah, it's not me. It's not me. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be something I would want to do on my channel. But once again, making that much money, if I had like 10, 20 videos making 40,000 views every single time, that's actually a lot of money. But I'm not in this for the money. I'm not some entertainer. I try to be an academic on this. And that's what I try to do. That's what I try to do. I just try to be a simple man. Just try to be a simple man. But that's really all I have to say. If anybody's got any questions, let me know. Okay? Let me know. Okay? All right. Y'all let me know, should I block Shada? Should Shada get blocked? Should Shada get blocked? I don't know. Maybe. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll answer one question in the chat, but it has to end with a question mark. It has to be phrased correctly. It's got to be phrased right, put together right. After this, I'm going to chill, do some writing for culturalist theory. No English classes today, so I don't know. Might just wrap it up. But I'm just chilling on live, man. Really got nothing else to do today. I usually don't have these empty days like this. You get what I'm saying? Usually I'm always busy with something. I feel like just chilling on live for a minute.